them and do what you can for them.
Who's your father?
You hope things will turn out the way that you plan for them.
Who's your father?
She's growing up so incredibly fast. He seems to think that you live in the past. You can't really cope, but you hope it'll last a bit. Hello, Shirley. You're doing your homework. No, you're not doing your homework. I tell you what you're doing. You're watching television. Now, you can't do your homework. Hey, isn't that a repeat of the repeat we saw last week? No, he didn't have a feather in his hat and she didn't have a mustache. No. He didn't have a mustache. Anyway, you can't watch television and do your homework at the same time.
I agree with you, Dad.
Yeah.
It is a repeat.
That's not what I meant, and you know it isn't. Look, how can you do your homework with all that noise going on?
It's a well-known fact that background noise is an aid to concentration.
Well, I never heard.
Background noise is an aid to concentration.
I didn't mean I never heard. I meant I never heard about it.
Oh, it was in the Sunday Express.
Oh.
Well, how do you think they trained fighter pilots in the war?
Well, I have no idea how they train fighter pilots. I didn't think you were... You don't want to be a fighter pilot, do you? You get more like your mother every day.
Oh, did she want to be a fighter pilot?
No, I didn't. I never asked her. No, she had no head for heights, really.
Well, I'm thinking of being a top model.
Oh, well, you can forget about it. I'm not having your photograph in one of those magazines.
What magazine?
Those magazines that are on the top shelf at the newsagents.
How do you know they're on the top shelf?
They are on the top shelf. When I have to reach up and get one. I came in to ask you something.
Dad, you haven't got a tie on.
Yes, then why not? Because my tie was not in my wardrobe.
The dress that I want isn't in mine.
No, because you leave them all over the floor.
No, it's not. It's because it's still in the shop window.
Yeah, well, we won't go into that. The question is, where is my best tie?
All right, Dad, end of homework. Well, which tie are we looking for?
Well, you know the one I like. It's got it with my birthday money. It's a sort of paisley, a paisley.
Paisley?
Paisley. What? Paisley? What is paisley? Look, it's a sort of design. Give me a pencil. Thank you very much. Now, it's like this. Well, there it is. A simple design, isn't it?
Oh, love it.
Yeah. Pass me your colours. I'll fill it in for you.
Do. Mrs. Phillips might give you a gold star.
Do you think so? I was always very good. Who's Mrs. Phillips?
My biology mistress.
Oh.
That's my biology book. You've just scribbled all over my spleen.
All over your what?
My spleen. We did kidneys, and then I was away for livers. So now we're doing spleens.
Yes, thank you very much. Look, I'll ask your brother Martin if he's borrowed my tie.
Dad?
Yeah?
I don't really think Martin would borrow one of your ties.
No, you're quite right. He wouldn't borrow one. Not without asking first.
No, that's not quite what I meant, actually.
Where is Martin, by the way?
Out. I'll have to do the veins red, because I haven't got a blue.
Veins in a spleen.
Well, it looked so empty otherwise. He went out about 7.
Yes, he's been out every night this week. Is it that Audrey he's with?
Audrey?
Audrey. You know the one with lots of hair and no comb?
Oh, Audrey. No, she's yesterday's news, Dad.
Oh.
Martin gave her the big E.
Oh, he's too generous. He throws all his money away.
No, Dad, the big E, like the elbow.
Oh, the elbow. You mean he's thrown her over?
Yes.
Ah.
Well, it was her own fault. She got rid of her wheels.
Wheels. Now, if E is for elbow, wheels is... Ah, she sold a skateboard.
Honestly, you'd think I was speaking a foreign language.
Yes.
Audrey sold her car,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So she's got rid of her wheels, eh?
I understand. He gave her the big elbow because she sold a car.
Well done, Dad.
Where is Martin now?
Sussing out the field.
In this weather? I hope he hasn't got his best shoes on.
Shall we go back to your tie?
We'll have to go back to the time. I'm supposed to be meeting the Blackers at 7:30.
Oh, I'd forgotten it was Friday.
Ooh.
You don't need a tie, do you? Not to go next door.
No, well, I'm not actually going next door. We're going out for a drink. Mrs. Blacker seems to think it will do me good.
Oh, well, don't forget to take your wallet, then.
Well, I won't need much. I'll only have a couple.
And Mrs. Blacker?
Well, now, what generally happens with Mrs. Blacker is I say to her, what will you have? And she says, I'll have a bitter lemon. I say, try something stronger. She says she'll try a brandy. I will get my wallet. Yeah. By the way, you say Martin's sussing the field. You're pulling my leg, aren't you? There's no fields around here.
Chloe! Over here, Mr. Matthews.
Mrs. Blacker, how very nice to see you. It's Bert didn't come then.
Well, this is it.
Yes.
I left him glued to his football. He said he'd join us if Fulham won.
I see.
He's not coming.
Oh, look, I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, what's time? That's what I always say. What's time?
What's that? Thank goodness I'm not that late.
20 minutes.
Really? You're right, then I am late. You see, I had something on my mind, something I forgot. I can't remember what it was.
Don't worry about it. Oh, that's a nice tie.
Yes, that's what I couldn't find, my tie.
Oh, but you've got it on.
Yeah, but this is not my best tie.
Oh, well, it's very nice.
Oh, you like it?
Yes. Is that a crest?
Crest?
Well, it looks like words. Is it your old school motto? What does it say?
Hand wash only. I don't suppose that's my old school motto.
Excuse me, but I think you've got that tie on the wrong way round.
Yes, I think, and you see, the trouble was, I was thinking about someone else when I was worried about Martin.
Oh, what's wrong with Martin?
Well, according to Shirley, he's in a field.
In a field?
In a field.
In November?
You're thinking what I'm thinking. He catches death of cold. I worry about Martin. Mind you, I worry about Shirley, too.
Is she in a field?
In November, no. No, she's sitting. That's another reason I was late. I was helping her with the drawing.
Oh, aren't you a wonderful parent? Still life, was it?
Still, no, I could ask the doctor.
Don't tell me she's ill.
Well, I won't say she's ill because she's not. No, she's at home. As a matter of fact, now get ready. She's drawing a spleen.
Oh, don't.
I know.
Please. Oh, my sister had one.
She's still got it. You see, I think Shirley could do with a model.
Oh, you are a funny family. But you worry too much about those children.
Do you really think so?
Mind you, who am I to talk? I never had one.
Let me get you one.
Eh?
What will you do?
Oh, you mean name my poison? Oh, well, I'll just have a bit of lemon.
Try something stronger.
Something stronger?
What about a brandy?
Well, you're twisting my arm, but I will have a brandy.
Good.
Oh, and put a baby sham in it.
Miss, could I... Miss...
I nurse, Dad. Always works.
Hello, Martin. Nice to see you. What are you doing here?
Buying you a drink, I suppose. What'll you have?
Well, I'll have my tie back for a start. Now, you shouldn't borrow things without asking, and
Dad.
it's not straight, you know.
Don't do that in here.
Are you the dry sherries, love?
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Tar, dear.
Miss, could I have a... I'm trying to get a drink for Mrs. Blacker.
Brandy and baby sham, I'll leave you to it.
No, just a minute.
Look, Dad, I've got someone waiting in the Tudor bar.
Yes, well, he can wait a few minutes, whoever he is.
It's a she.
And so is Mrs. Blacker. I kept her waiting. I was very late.
Well, you can't blame me for that.
Oh, yes, I can, and I'm going to. Look at my tie.
Very nice, Dad. Can I get... It's inside out.
It's inside out. Now, ask me why it's inside out.
I say. Why is your... Sorry, Dad. Why is your tie inside out?
Because I was worried about you in that field.
How many have you had?
I haven't had any.
Well, then let me get you one. What are you having?
No, thank you. I'll tell you what I will do. I will have one when you bring your young lady over to meet Mrs. Blacker.
Dad, she's not like... I never said anything about bringing her across to meet Mrs. Blacker.
I know you never said it, but you will. You will, won't you?
No.
No?
And before you ask, I'm not taking you across to meet her.
Wait, now, wait. You're not ashamed of her, are you?
Why should I be?
Well, you don't want me to see her.
Well, has it occurred to you that I might not want her to see you?
Martin, I'll put my tie on the right way round.
Dad, you'll have me in tears in a minute. Look, it's got nothing to do with your tie. I'll explain later, okay?
You'll explain that in a field, drinking dry sherry. Miss, nurse.
Yes, dear.
Oh. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mrs. Blacker. I was chatting to the bar lady. Charming woman she is. She has a play group in the mornings. There you are.
You didn't think to get Chris?
Chris, I'll get some.
No, you'll do no such thing.
Oh.
I've got a couple of cheesy biscuits in my bag. There we are.
No, it's all right. I can't take those.
Oh, if you're worried about the cost, they can be my round. They don't give you very much, do they?
No.
Very refreshing.
God, lovely.
Happy day.
Happy days indeed, yes.
Oh, how can I say that? And you sitting there all alone.
I'm not exactly all alone, Mrs. Blacker. You're with me.
But your poor wife isn't.
Now, unfortunately, that's true. Isn't this a nice place?
I've been meaning to ask you, have you felt strong enough yet to go through her things?
Well, that's 7 months ago, and I took care of that straight away. Mind you, there is one drawer in her dressing table I haven't been able to open yet.
Ah,
But I will,
of course you will.
when I find the key.
Jim,
Why can't I meet your father?
I don't want you to meet him because he'll probably get hold of the wrong end of the stick.
What do you mean?
Well, he already thinks you're my girlfriend.
But I'm a married woman. Really? I'm old enough to be your mother.
that was very nice.
Same again.
Same again. Stop. Don't turn round.
Why not?
There's something I don't want you to see.
Who is it you don't want me to see?
You're Martin.
Martin?
I didn't want it to come as a shock.
It didn't come as a surprise. I've been chatting to him at the bar.
You never said.
Well, I didn't want it to come as a shock. Evidently, he's got a young lady in the Tudor lounge.
Did you say young? Have you seen her?
Well, I've not actually met the lady.
Well, now's your chance.
Are they behind us?
They are. She's got a crocodile handbag.
Is it all right for me to turn round and have a look?
I think you better. There, Mr. Matthews.
Yeah.
She must be 50 if she's a dame. What do you make of that?
It seems like only yesterday I cancelled his beaner.
Thank you. Can I help you?
Oh, I'm sure you can. That's why you're first on the list.
List.
You see, I have a list here. Look at this list. There you are. Librarian, top of the list. It's followed by the doctor, the vicar, and Mrs. Blacker.
Mrs. Blacker.
Mrs. Blacker is not my next-door neighbour. She's a wonderful woman, but prone to panic. That's why I've got her last on the list. Now, I know you're very busy, so I'll get straight to the point. Where do you advise me to look?
What for?
A book.
A book.
About my problem, you see. You see, our Martin... Well, according to Mrs. Blacker, is in her 50s. And not only that, you're carrying a crocodile handbag.
Excuse me, who was carrying a crocodile handbag?
The woman who was with our Martin in the Flying Horse last night.
I think I'm getting
Oh,
it.
good.
Our Martin is your son.
Right.
And you've seen him with an older woman.
That's right.
And
And
why have you come here?
I want a book
What about?
about the gap in there. There must be a book about it somewhere. After all, a boy of nearly 20 and a woman with a crocodile handbag.
Nothing springs to mind.
Oh, really? You do this. I'll go and see the vicar.
No, no. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I suppose if you break it down, it's a social problem, isn't it?
If he wants to take her anywhere else but the Flying Horse, it's bound to be.
I've a book on multiracial marriages.
She's not foreign, is she? The crocodile handbag.
I've never met her.
Well, I've seen her. She doesn't look foreign. What else can you offer me?
What about adolescence and its problems?
Adolescent? No.
No, it's American.
Yes, it is.
Of course, there's always Dr. Spock.
Dr. Spock, he's American. Yes. He's babies, isn't he?
Yes.
Yes. No.
No.
Where does that leave us?
Leaves me with a very long queue. We close at 1 o'clock on Saturdays, you
Oh,
know.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
Next, please.
I want a book on emus.
Third shelf, second book along. Next.
I want to put a sauna in an high-rise flat.
Top shelf, you can use my steps. Next.
I want the life of Marco Polo deceased.
Biographies under P. Fourth shelf. Next.
I want a book on older women and younger men.
Sociology, fourth shelf.
Oh,
Big black book.
you're very kind. I'm late.
Your lunch is ready.
Good.
It's meat pie
Good.
and custard, okay?
Oh, yes, I'll enjoy that.
Dad, could you put your book down a minute?
Certainly, Shirley, yes.
No, could you lift it up?
Yes, indeed, I can, yeah. You know, this book is very absorbing.
It doesn't need to be. It's
Oh, oh, is it? Oh, I am sorry.
Give it to me. I'll put it in the oven.
No, I can still eat it.
The book.
Oh, oh. Will it be long? Because I want to finish the last chapter.
What's this you're reading?
Well, it's a book on how to build a sauna in a high-rise flat. It's not the book I wanted, really.
Why on earth bring it home?
Well, there was a bit of a mix-up. The man who wanted Marco Polo, he got a book on emus.
A librarian must be absolutely
The
useless.
librarian was a very charming lady, but I was very worried, you see.
Dad, what were you worried about?
I'm back.
Eh? Oh, yes. I was worried about, Hey, was he out all last night?
No.
Did he come in before me last night?
Yes, just before you.
Well, why did I lay awake worrying all night?
I don't know. You needn't anyway at his age.
It's not his age I'm worrying about. Look, I've got to talk to somebody. Sit down. I want to tell you something.
Look, I can't sit down and cook the lunch.
Never mind the lunch. Sit down.
Oh, all right. Well, what shall we talk about?
Martin.
Boring, Martin.
Now, I don't want this to come as a shock to you, but your brother Martin is keeping company with an older woman.
So?
An older woman, Shirley.
Yes, well, he always does. I mean, Audrey was 22.
22, double that. Double it.
44?
44, absolutely right.
Great. 44 what?
The lady is 44 years old.
Not Martin's new girlfriend.
I'm afraid it's true. Mrs. Blacker says she's 50 if she's a day. And that was in the Flying Horse, which is very badly lit.
50?
50.
But
That's very worrying.
Oh, I don't know. She won't last, will she?
50's not that good.
No, I mean, he'll go off her, won't he? He always does.
Do you really think so?
Yes. Start worrying when he buys the ring.
My, well, you're a very sensible girl, Shirley. Thank you, but I won't worry anymore. That's the end.
I'm off then.
Now, when are you going to some?
Jewelers. Bye.
Jewelers? Wait. What are you going to the jewelers for?
You must be starving, Dad. You didn't have any lunch.
Yeah, well, I'm not really hungry.
I can easily warm it up for you.
Yeah, what is it?
Shepherd's pie.
Is it frozen or did you make it?
I made it.
I'm not really hungry.
Oh, look, Dad, you must stop worrying about Martin. Jewelers don't only sell rings, you know.
That's true.
Perhaps he's getting his watch fixed.
Yes, he could be.
Or he could even be getting my Christmas present.
Martin buying you a Christmas present from the jewelers? I don't think so. What did you get last year?
A box of hankies.
And your mum bought those. You know, what do you think your mum would do if she was here now? What would she do?
I can tell you that. She'd go and see this woman and sort her out.
Oh, quite. That's exactly what she will do, and I'm going to do the same thing.
Jolly good.
Now, wait, no, it won't work. I don't know where she lives.
Well, what's her name? She's probably in the phone book.
That's the answer. It isn't. I don't know her name.
That's the milkman. I'll go. You stay here and worry.
Well, tell him we had no milk on Tuesday.
Okay.
Was it Tuesday? Yes, it must have been Tuesday, because Monday we ran out of cornflakes. No, I tell a lie. Tuesday we ran out of cornflakes. Well, when was it we didn't have a pint of milk? Well, Shirley, when was it we didn't have a pint of milk, Monday or Tuesday?
Thursday.
Oh. Who?
The woman, Martin's woman.
Delivering milk.
She's come here to talk to you about Martin.
You mean she's there now? You went...
Mr. Matthews, Angela Sudbury.
Oh, Sudbury, how nice to meet you. Allow me to introduce you. This is my daughter, Shirley. Please, sit down. Thank you. Would you like a cup of crocodile ham? Could I get you a dry sherry?
There isn't any. And before you ask, there isn't any gin either.
Have I upset your little girl?
Well, no, really. You see, she's very fond of her brother.
Well, I can understand that. He's a nice enough lad.
Yes, he's very young, you know. He's not yet 20.
So you agree with me? He's much too young.
He is for a woman of 44.
He is for a girl of 24.
Oh, don't sit there and tell me you're 24.
No, I'm not.
Madam, you're confusing me.
My daughter's 20, and I do not wish your son to marry her.
Oh, I sympathize and I understand, yes.
Good.
You wish to marry him yourself.
I beg your pardon.
Look, please, can we clear this up? Did you come here to marry my son?
I did not.
Well, if you did, and don't misunderstand me, because it's very nice to meet you, but if you didn't come here to marry my son and you're not delivering milk, what did you come for? Because we've got no dry sherry.
Let me put it simply.
Yes, please, simply.
I am here to say
Yes.
I do not wish your son to marry my daughter.
Ah, what's the matter with her?
Nothing's the matter with her. She's a dear girl.
Well, why can't she, if she wishes, marry my son?
He's too young.
Oh, I can't agree with that.
And he's no prospect.
I can't agree with that.
And he's totally irresponsible.
Oh, I can agree with that.
Look at his social background. I mean, that surly little girl.
Ah, Shirley, Shirley.
And your tie.
Madam, you go too far. This is my Paisley.
None of this is a suitable background for my daughter.
Now, just a moment. Before we throw my son and his family on the slag heap, who is this daughter of yours? Who is she? What's her name?
Veronica.
Veronica?
Ah, you know her too.
Never heard of her.
Do you know what they charge me for a perfectly ordinary Miss Sudbury? What are you doing here?
I have something to say to you, young man.
And I have something to say to you, young man. You got it all wrong, Martin. Mrs. Sudbury doesn't want you to marry her. And she doesn't want you to marry her daughter, Veronica.
Oh, that's just as well, because I just told her that for the 100th time.
I'm delighted to hear it.
Yeah, she's outside in the car, crying her eyes out.
You didn't say something to upset her, did you?
I just said that I'm too young, too irresponsible, and my social,
Social? Well, you wouldn't get on. How's that? Well, there you are. Now, would you like to stay and have a cup of tea?
A cup of tea?
A cup of tea.
I came here to talk about my daughter.
Yes.
And all I get is some stupid conversation about my age. And by the way, I'm 42. I've been insulted. My daughter's outside in tears, and all you can say is, would you like a cup of tea?
Well, I'm sorry we have no dry sherry.
Here.
she's nuts.
It's all that sherry.
I thought I sorted her out last night in the Flying Horse. She didn't upset you, did she, Dad?
Oh, we had a lovely little chat. Where have you been?
Oh, I told you.
Huh?
Jewelers.
Jealous? Oh, you can take that back.
What?
Well, she doesn't want to marry you, and she doesn't want you to marry her daughter.
Dad, I wasn't buying a ring. Shirley.
Have you given it to him yet?
No, I'm just going to. Here you are, Dad. It's for you.
It's for me? So, it's not my birthday, is it? A pair of cufflinks, is that? Oh!
It's your wedding anniversary. We're still going to give you presents every year.
God, you mean it's my wedding anniversary? It's never the 8th. It's not the 8th. Let me look. The 8th, you're right, it is my wedding anniversary. Oh, look. Look, I'm very sorry I forgot our wedding anniversary. But then again, I always did.
Next Monday at the same time, Harry's 16-year-old daughter is on holiday and he needs to find something or someone to keep her out of trouble.